Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Nittai Gaura Nataraj, Nittai Gaura Nataraj, Nittai Gaura Nataraj, Nittai Gaura Nataraj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Om Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum Sachivarnam Chaturphujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashanti Yasyatma Bhutasya Guru Prasadat Aham Vimukmosmi Bhasharira Bandhat Sarvopadeshu Puruchotamasya Tasyange Padma Pranatosmi Nityam Prahlada Narada Paradara Pundarika Vyasamrisa Sukha Saunaka Bhishma Dalbyan Rukmanga Udhava Vibhishna Palgunadim Punyanimam Paramabhagavatam Namami Janmari Asya Yato Anvaya Idra Satya Abhijñā Swarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Havaye Muhyantyah Surayah Tejo Vari Mrita Meta Vinimayo Yatrat Sarvamrisa Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakoham Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharma Prochita Kaitavo Atra Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam Vasavam Atra Vastu Sivadam Tapatrayon Moolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krit Kim Va Parairishwaraha Sadyo Hridi Aparidyate Atra Kritvihi Sushrushvitakshanat Nihama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukhamugat Amritam Dhiva Samyuktam Vipada Bhagavatam Rasamale Muraho Rathika Bhuvi Bhavukaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudihirayete Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamas Loke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Sankirtan Yasya Sarva Prapa Pranashanam Pranama Dukha Samanastam Namami Harim Param Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ca dushkritam. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says why he appears into this world. In that, he says very clearly that to establish the religious principle and to annihilate the miscreants and to save and protect the devotees. And throughout his avatars that we have seen, we know that that's the purpose of Krishna's taking different incarnations. Of all the different avatars that he has taken, is unlimited. It's not just limited to 10. There are many avatars out there. But prominently, there are 10 avatars has been spoken, primarily the principal 10 avatars. In the 10 avatars, there's a combination of different things, where he appeared as another species in a form of a fish, form of a turtle, form of a boar, different animal form. And also he appeared as human. Parasurama, Rama, Balarama, Krishna, and the future Kalki, all human forms. They all have their speciality, they are all special. But when we discuss about the topic that we are currently discussing in this 7th canto, and this chapter or this canto is dedicated for one particular avatar. And this avatar is very special, which is a combination of an animal and human. So it is said, people who have tasted sugar separately and people who have tasted milk separately, when they combine these two things together, milk and sugar, and they will not go back to enjoy sugar separately or milk separately. Narasimha Avatar is a combination of sugar and milk. It is very special. And compared to any other avatars, Narasimha Avatar, the way it's special because when the Lord appeared as human, say for example Rama was an earth planet Earth, it is said close to 11,000 years. And we only know little about him. And even in this pastimes of Lord Rama, we see he himself had a lot of problems. He lost his wife, he was searching for his wife, and he went to Lanka and then fought for so many days and finally killed Ravana. He could have killed him from wherever he was, but he didn't take that step. In Krishna Avatar, when Krishna appeared, we see he lived for a long time too. But then rather than getting into the action of punishing the Kauravas directly and getting the Hastinapur back to these Pandavas, he was just going as a messenger, trying to convince them, trying to make them understand the truth, dharma, etc. He did so many things. But he had all rights to do whatever he wants to do. That's Krishna Avatar. Whereas when it comes to the other avatars, they have their own problems too. Matsya Avatar. Matsya Avatar. Much closer.
Yes.
Matsya Avatar, where he himself was under the ocean, Samudra. Kurma Avatar, he had a biggest he's already lifting a load on him. So different avatars are having their own problems. But this particular avatar is Narasimha Avatar. It is very project oriented, result oriented. And from Narasimha Avatar, this particular avatar, many things that we can learn. How to be compassionate, how to be truthful, how to be careful with time management, be punctual, how to be simple, and how to be at the same time how to be majestic, great. And he doesn't talk too much, unlike Krishna who spoke too much, and Rama who didn't talk at all, meaning of course he spoke but less. But Narasimha Dev is very, very specific and project, as I said, result oriented, very specific. He came for one particular reason and he did that and he went. He did not hang around and trying to do other things and talk about stories of this person or that person, try to speak too many slokas. None of these things he did. He just came, he finished and went. Therefore, Nrsimha Avatar is very, very special, and it proves that he is there for us. He is there for us. He appeared for a small boy, 5 years old boy, just to keep up the promise of that boy. Satyam vidatum nija britya bhashitam. To keep up the promise of his devotee Prahlad, who said the Lord has appeared, Lord is present in this pillar, is present in that pillar, and everywhere. To prove the words of his devotee, he appeared. And also he appeared to prove and keep up the promise of Brahma. Brahma gave the boon to Hiranyakashipu. Lot of boons he has given. So keep up the boon of what Brahma gave, he appeared. And the promise that he made to the Devatas, that he will come and take care of Hiranyakashipu. So he appeared. Satyam vidatum vijabritya bhashitam. Whatever has been spoken to keep up the promise, he appeared. To keep up the promise of his devotees, especially Prahlad. With that said, in the last session, we saw where Prahlad was sent to Santa Marka school, and there, instead of learning what has been taught there, he was fully into devotion in bhakti. Then when he came back to home on a day, his father asked, "What did you learn?" And we saw that he started speaking to his father, "O great king of Asuras, you are chewing the chew. You are, what is already, something has been already chewed, you are chewing the same thing. That means, how much ever you try to squeeze out and enjoy the material energy, you are not going to get anything out of it. Therefore, what you have to do is surrender to Krishna, Narayana, chant his name, and take up some services. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. All the different types of process are there. You take up this process and then become a nice devotee." And then Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu became very angry, and he ordered that this boy should be chopped or killed. He is no more his son, he is his enemy. Therefore, the Asuras, they took Prahlad and threw him from the top of the hill. Nothing happened. And then put him into the ocean. Nothing happened. And they also put him into the fire. Same result. Couldn't kill him. Put him into the poisonous snakes. Nothing happened. Gave poison. He drank. Nothing happened. So Hiranyakashipu was thinking, well, he is my son. Obviously, like a son gets the father's property, likewise, looks like my son also got the boon that I got from Brahma. So the teachers, Santa and Amarka, they said, well, it's okay, we'll take one more chance, we'll take Prahlad back to school, and this time we'll make sure no one comes and teaches or preaches him anything, and we'll protect him very carefully and bring him in a right path. And Hiranyakashipu agreed, and Prahlad was sent back to the school. He went back to the school. When he went back to the school, and the teachers were asking him, listen, if you want to lead a happy life, better you obey and understand and listen to what we teach and follow that one. Otherwise, you lose your life, you'll be killed by your father. So they were threatening, they were screaming, they were doing all sorts of things to Prahlad. But for Prahlad, none of these things really mattered. He was not affected at all. He was simply constantly chanting Narayana's name. So one day, the teachers went home. It was a lunchtime or whatever. They went home. And when the teachers were out, the boys called Prahlad, his friends, classmates. They called Prahlad. Prahlad, come on, let's go play. Let's play hide and seek. Let's play some games. And when the boys called Prahlad, and Prahlad started speaking, he started speaking, my dear friends, I have some things to tell to you all. He smilingly said, I have something to tell you. Very affectionately he was just saying that Kaumara acharit pragyam dharman bhagavatan iha durlabam manushya janma tadabi adharvam arthadham. He said, my dear friends, he said, Kaumara, that the youth, young age is very rare. That now that you have this human body, Manushya, Durlabha Manushya Janma, this Manushya Janma is very rare to get. And especially when you are young, make use of this time very nicely. Prajnaha, he said that over here, he says that, my dear friends, the youth very quickly goes away. Therefore, make use of this time nicely, sufficiently, intelligently. So as it is said that there are many types of living entities in the Puranas. It says Jalaja Navalakshani Stavara Laksha Vimshati Kramayo Rudra Shankyaha Pakshinam Dasalakshanam Trimshal Lakshani Pashavah Chadur Lakshani Manusyaha. So he said, not he says, it is said in the Shastra that the different life species are there. And for one to get human body, one has to go through the cycle from lower to a different grade and get higher body and higher body and higher body and finally come to the human form of life. Even when you get a human form of life, what is the guarantee that our body is equipped with all that is needed? Our senses are working properly, our body is functioning properly, our intelligence is good, our mind is under control. What is the guarantee that we are going to get all these things? There's no guarantee. It is said that a living entity has to go through different cycles to come to a human form of life. That is, where, say, someone leaves the body and they goes to heaven. In heaven, they stay for some time and they enjoy over there for some period of time. Once their credit is over, then they'll be thrown out of heaven into the clouds. From the clouds, through the rain drops, they come to the earth. And the Atma takes the shelter of any plants. And then from the plants, it enters into a Purusha. Purusha means a man. And from man, the Atma is transferred into a woman. So in these different cycles, we see at any point of at any juncture, it might not go to the next stage. If the rain falls, if the Atma falls into the desert, a deserted area, that means there is no plants. That means the Atma again has to go up and look for, it has to go through the again cycle of finding another place where it can fall into the plants. And if it is taking shelter of a plant, what is the guarantee the plant is an eatable plant? Maybe it's just a plant, wild plant like a weeds on the lawn. Right? So getting a plant that is favorable, that can be transferred into the human, or it could be transferred into an animal. Therefore, it's important that finally we come to a human form of life. It takes many bahunam janmanam ante jnanavanam prakatyate. It takes many lifetimes for one to want to get a human form of life. After they get a human form of life, if a person does not make use of the human form of life very nicely and again behaves like an animal, then what do they use? Prahlad is speaking all these things to his friends. Therefore, my dear friends, understand that we all have got this human form which is very rare, durlabham, manushya janmam. Let's make use of this very nicely in the service of the Lord. And whatever the happiness that we are trying to derive with this human form can be achieved even in any species of life. Even the ant can get the sukham of what we are trying to get, the human form. So what's the big deal about it? Why we have to work so hard to find this happiness? Then he goes on saying, explaining the human cycle. Pumso varsha satam hi ayuhu tadartam Chajitatmanaha Nishpalam yet asoratriyam eta antam praptis tamaha. He goes saying that the human being are ordained to live for 100 years. Not everyone lives for 100 years. The maximum is 100 years people live. One can live. And in that 100 years, half of the years goes in sleeping. Half of the years goes in sleeping. That too if he sleeps only in the night time. If he sleeps during the daytime, then maybe 75% of the life is already gone in sleep. Okay? So that means 50% of your life, our life, 50% is gone. And in the tender age, what we do in the tender age, when we are young children, we are busy playing games, always interested in playing this game or that game, and all sort of games. We are interested in playing games. And when we grow a little older, then we are busy in our studies. And then after that, we are looking for a job. And after that, we are looking for a spouse. Right? Want to get married. After that, we want to have some good, nice children. After having children, then we are busy earning and working for these children to make them better in their life. And then after that, we are again busy trying to find some. Nowadays, we don't have that worries anymore. We don't need to find work or children find things mostly by themselves. That's been a. But in the traditional way, the parents take responsibility of finding the spouse for their children. Not only that, after that, they're not still retired yet. They have grandchildren. Now they have a responsibility of taking the children to all those different schools and extracurricular activities and all those things. They are busy serving the grandchildren. Therefore, the life goes on with like this. Therefore, Adi Shankaracharya, he says that Balat tavat krida shaktaha, tarunas tavat tarune raktaha, vriddhas tavat chinta magnaha, tasmin brahmine kopi na lagnaha. What he says that Balaha means in the childhood we are so busy playing, and when we become youth, we are busy in opposite gender, enjoying in those things. And Vriddha means old age. In old age, we are busy in anxiety. We are in anxiety mode, always thinking about what's going to happen, right? All those things. And then in the young age, we are busy playing, and when we are youth, we are busy with enjoying life. And when we are old, we are thinking about a lot of things about our anxiety. We are in anxiety mode. And he's asking, is there any time are we spending thinking about God? There's no time that we are thinking about God. So therefore, this time, the young age, is a time where we can spend in Krishna consciousness very actively. Otherwise, we become a Grahamedis. Grahamedis are the people who are only concerned about their family members, their spouse, their children, how to materially lead their life happily, and so forth. They work towards only about enjoying and taking care of their own family members. And therefore, these things are spoken by Prahlad, who was 5 years old, to another 5 years old boys. Can you just imagine? And then the people get attracted when they hear their children speaks in the broken languages. Their children speaks something, like that they say something, and they don't know how to even pronounce. But then the father gets so sweet. 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita so nicely. He didn't one sloka properly. If my neighbor's children speak something very nicely, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveda Yursavaha, immediately we feel what is great about that. My son speaks very nicely slokas. That's how we get so attracted and affectionate to our family members. And then our parents are very much attached to us, and we are attached to our parents all the time, our relatives, and so forth. Therefore, we can see this attachment of mamakara and ahankara. This is all spoken by Prahlad to his classmates. So, mamakara and ahankara is very strong that it binds us into this world so deeply, so deep rooted. We become so deep rooted into this program of attachment. Therefore, because of this, what happens? We start fighting like dogs and cats. This again Prahlad says. Prabhupada translates this. That we fight like dogs and cats. When our things have been taken away by someone else, we bark, like that. Like that, because it's my thing. How can you touch mine? So forth. So we get so much attached, and we get into the arguments and fights, and that attachment binds us so strong. So what we have to do, my dear friends, is to chant Narayana's name. Narayana, 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 Narayana. Then we started telling. That's how we have to chant. And when the boys were hearing Narayana, 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 they were thinking, oh, this is very nice. Our teacher never taught these things to us. Then they asked, who is this Narayana? Then he started speaking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. Narayana is cause of all causes. He is the cause of all causes. You know, my dear boys, who's your father? He said, my father is Bakka. Who is your father? Dakka. What's your father? Dikka. I'm just making up. Don't go and look into the Bhagavatam. These names are there or not. Then these are Asura's names. Therefore, this is my father. You know, okay, your father is Bakka, Dakka, Sukka, and Bukka. Do you know who's your previous father? What? Previous father? What do you mean by previous father? This is my father. You know that you had another father before? Before? It's all new concept to us. Yeah, before you were born, where were you? Boys were thinking, where were you? Oh, we were in the womb of our mother. Okay. Where were you before that? Before that, even did I exist? Of course you exist. Otherwise, how did you be born to this father and mother? Why you were not born as Devatas, Manushya? Why not as any other species? Why this particular body you got to this particular father and mother? Oh, you mean to say I was existing before? Of course you were existing before. And because of your deed, whatever the action that you did, that karma and vasana has put you into this birth, to this particular parents. So therefore understand, life is not one time. But how do we know all these things? Who keeps track of all these things? Narayana, 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 Narayana. That is Narayana. He has a bigger system. And that computer system never crashes. Never crashes. Never makes any mistake. We might, sometimes what happens, you have a bank account. Sometimes this happens. Rarely happens. Someone's money gets deposited into your account. So that whenever it happens, immediately go and take it out. It's just a joke.
Sometimes you transfer to someone else
Someone
and they never return that money. Happened to me.
Oh my God.
I lost my 20,000.
Wow. So anyway, so here therefore, there are mistakes that might happen. One person's money get transferred to someone else, and this might happen, right? So in the account, in God's account, it never happens. Mills of God grinds slowly, but exceedingly fine. Right? It finely takes care of every single details that we go through in our life. Therefore, my dear boys, understand karma is so powerful and the vasana is so powerful. And this all happens because of the Prakriti, three modes, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Therefore, we have to come out of the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, which is the cause of the false ego, Ahankara and Mamakara. And the only way that you can do, these boys were asking, how do we do this one? These boys have become very serious now. They are all asuras, but they were sitting and hearing interestingly, very attentively hearing, because this is all new subject for them.
Yeah.
Very new. They are written.
Yeah, something like new devotees you bring and give a class, they like, okay.
It's a very important point. If you are speaking this topic to devotees, right, they get same old stuff. How many times I have to hear the same, the karma, janma, rebirth, and next birth. It's boring. But if it is a new person who comes, he becomes like this, attentively he hears. This is all very nice, very nice. Never heard this one. So, it like that, these boys were also very attentively hearing the subject matter. Now they had a question, hey, Rala. Now they were asking, hold on a minute. Whatever you are speaking so far, it's all beautiful, wonderful. You are so enlightened, it's very attractive. But how did you know? Because we all started the school at the same time. Same admission, 2020, we school, and everywhere we hear the same topic, but then whatever you're teaching is all so different, but it's very attractive. We could never deny what you're saying, it's very attractive. But whatever our Santa and America speaks, feels so sleepy, so so boring, whatever they teach. They speak about how to fight, how to argue with people, who are our enemies, who are our friends. This is what they teach all the time. But what you're teaching is so different and so pleasing, and we are feeling so nice and light in our life when we're hearing. We want to hear more about these things. But tell me, where did you learn this from? Where did you learn this from? Do you attend any special class outside our school? Do you go to Human? Do you go to any other tuition? Coaching center? Do you do any of these things? Prahlad said, now he says, now is where the story starts. Right? Prahlad. So Prahlad says, my dear boy, my dear friends, when my father, now he's telling the story, how he learned it. Before, when his father asked, where did you learn this from? He didn't tell this one. When his teachers asked, where did you learn this from? He didn't tell. Because he doesn't want to tell the fact and put Narada Muni into problem. Okay? Therefore, he did not tell to them. But these are young boys, small boys of his own age. So he didn't see any problem. But the reason they were asked, the way that they were asking was also very genuine, innocent. These are innocent children. They are asuras, but they were innocent. Therefore, they were asking, how did you learn? Where did you learn these things from? And when they asked this question, and Prahlad started telling the story about his birth, he said, my father, my dear father, Hiranyakashipu, after his brother was killed, he was very angry and upset. So therefore he wanted to take revenge. So he went to get boon from Lord Brahma. He went to get boon from Brahma. So he was doing severe austerity. During that time, Indra, who knows that what Hiranyakashipu is doing, he wanted to do something as usual. So he came to my place. He took kidnapped. Present. I was in my womb of my mother. She was pregnant. So that time he took my mother, and while he was taking my mother to kill my mother, the purpose is to kill me because I am son of Hiranyakashipu. He doesn't want another child to be born and create problem. So therefore he really wants to kill me. So he wants to kill my mother also. So he took my mother. At the point of time, Narada Muni came. Narada, he came. He stopped and, hey, hold on, stop. Where are you going? Where are you taking women? Someone's wife, why are you taking? You started this business also. You are not happy with whomever you have in Indraloka. You want someone else's wife also now. Right? Stop doing these sort of things. And Indra said, no, I am not taking for any other purpose. I am going to kill the Vamsa. Hiranyakashipu's the child, who is also an Asura. If he is going to be born, better to kill now rather than, he goes again and creates problem. Let's finish him now only. That's the purpose I am taking him. And then Narada Muni said, stop. Why are you doing this one? It is very simple to kill a baby in the womb and kill the mother like this. It is not very good. And moreover, he is a nice child. And Indra was thinking, what? Nice child? But he is going to be son of Hiranyakashipu. What do you expect a son of Asura to be? And Narada smiled and looked at Indra and said, what about you? You are son of a very nice Muni, but how you are behaving? Right? So, same thing could happen to Hiranyakashipu also. Even though Hiranyakashipu is Asura, not that his son should be Asura. He will be an outstanding devotee, a wonderful devotee. No have doubt about this one. He will be a great devotee. Therefore, please, I suggest you, leave this Kayadu with me. Kayadu with me. I will take care of her. Okay? And guaranteed, you won't have any problem because of the son of Hiranyakashipu. And Kayadu was taken to Narada's ashrama. So she was living there. Nice meal and everything was provided to her. Nice prasadam was given to her. And every day, Narada Muni will sit and tell Krishna Katha, Bhagavatam. Every day he speaks about glories of the Lord to Kayadu. And Kayadu, that too the class happens right after the heavy meal. Just imagine you eat so much and you sit for the class, Bhagavatam class. Nothing will go inside. You will be sleepy. Therefore, when Narada Muni was speaking Bhagavatam and Kayadu was dozing off. But Narada Muni was continuously speaking. He didn't worry about whether she is sleeping or not sleeping. He was continuously delivering lecture. So he went to sleep. As Narada Muni was speaking, but he could hear, as you speak, tell stories to the children. Especially the children will, parents used to tell the bedtime stories. Hare Krishna. So parents, usually children like to hear stories, bedtime stories. And then the parents will tell stories and the children will That means the parents can stop telling the story. The parents, when the child has gone to sleep, the parents will stop the story. Likewise, Narada Muni was telling story. Kayadu has already gone to sleep, but the sound was coming. Like that. Interestingly, where the sound was coming from? No one was there. It was just Narada Muni, it was Kayadu. No one was present there. But the Narada Muni could understand that the boy, the baby within the womb of the mother, during the lecture, very attentive. Very, very attentive. Therefore, it is said that those who are pregnant, expecting children, they should spend their time very carefully hearing Krishna Kathas all the time. The environment, the people they are with, anything should create them a positive spiritual energy, because the child within the womb are listening. Attentively they are listening to any conversation. Therefore, in the family, when the parents are expecting, when the couple is expecting child, they should have the home environment in such a way there is no fight and arguments and misunderstandings or crying. The wife should, the mother, expecting mother should not cry. Any of those things should not happen at home. It all directly affects the children. I mean, the child within the womb. Therefore, it's an important process in the Grahastha ashram. The wife is taken care of very nicely. So Narada Muni did not stop the story, he was continuing, and Prahlad said that I heard all this thing what I am telling you now already before even I took birth by my Guru Narada Muni. Now we are just reading Prahlad's instruction to his classmates. Canto 7. So, as he was telling, the boys were very inspired. He said, Prahlad, we like this class than the other class our teacher gives. Could you please continue telling like this? And he said, of course. The class was continuing. Every time when the teacher goes for lunch break, couple of hours, Bhagavatam class starts. On one day, something happened. On one day, the teachers came early. 15 minutes early they came. And they were shocked to see. They were really shocked to see. All the students, this school, the students never sit in one place. Right? Asura children, what can we expect? So the teachers will have hard time to make the children sit in one place. Now these teachers were completely surprised to see all the students were sitting and very attentively listening, and they were just looking up, who are they listening to? And they were surprised to see it was Prahlad. It was Prahlad. And then they went closer and saw that all the boys were wearing tilak. And when the class was over, he said, maybe this is only happening for one day. We have to closely observe what's happening now. And the next day they came half an hour early. The same thing was happening. And the one day they skipped their lunch and they waited to see what's happening there. And the class started at 12 o'clock and went for a couple of hours. And then after that they also had Kirtan program. Everyone got up and then that day was speak. They all started jumping up and down, chanting Narayana, 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 Narayana. They all started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone were chanting up and down and loudly. His teachers were saying, what's going on here? They couldn't take it anymore. They went and pulled Prahlad out and they screamed at these boys, and everyone, they immediately started rubbing their tilak and all those things, and back to, but then the teachers did not know what to do, because it looks like it's gone to an extreme case. Initially Prahlad was like that, now the whole school has become like that, and they understood, if we keep this boy any further over here, then Sri Krishna Balaram ki. If we keep this boy any further, he's a poisonous weed, right? He's like an ivy, so he will spread everywhere, and this whole institute, instead of HIT, it will become PIT, that is Hiranyakashipu Institute of Technology will turn into Prahlad Institute of Technology, right? Therefore, we better report this immediately to
The NIT, Narayana Institute.
Narayana Institute. NIT. There's some institute called NIIT.
Yeah.
In India. So they just dragged Prahlad and went in front of Hiranyakashipu. He said, "My dear king, king of Asuras, we give up. We give up. We cannot do anything with this Prahlad. It's out of question. Not only he is spoiled, he is also spoiling other children in the school. Our school reputation is going down. The school reputation is going down. Everyone is chanting Narayana's name. Everyone is reading Bhagavatam. Everyone is wearing tilak, kantimala. The whole school has changed. It's going to take a great effort on our part to change back these devotees into good character, like ourselves. So it's going to take a lot of effort to change and make them good people like us, like Asuras. They've been completely spoiled by this poisonous person, Prahlad. If you deal with this boy, we cannot do anything any further. And Hiranyakashipu, at this point, very, very eyes were red, like red balls. Jumped out of his throne and he caught hold of Prahlad, asked him, "What is this nonsense, you rascal? Where are you getting this message from? How do you speak all this thing?" Then Prahlad did not get affected at all. With cool head, he said, "My dear father, whoever is making you to speak, it's the same person making me to speak." Hiranyakashipu did not have any clue what Prahlad was speaking. He did not understand anything. "You have gone nuts. Where do you get the strength from?" "My dear father, wherever you are getting your strength from, that's where I am getting my strength from." "Well, if you are getting the strength from whomever it is, tell me who that person is. I want to see that person." And Prahlad said, "My dear father, what is that I need to show you? He is present everywhere. He is present everywhere. Where he is not present, he is present everywhere. Come on, don't fool me. Don't talk all this philosophical thing. Tell me where he is present. Is he present in this pillar?" And Prahlad said the same thing. "My dear father, what is this pillar? He is present in that pillar also. He is present in this pillar also. He is present in that pillar also. He is present in the wall. He is present everywhere. He is present within you. He is present within me." Listen, I am asking you a specific question. Is he present in this pillar or not? It is said that the commentary says that why Hiranyakashipu was pointing out to this one particular pillar and asking, "Is he present in this pillar or not?" is because when Hiranyakashipu built the palace, when he was building the palace, there are many pillars that have been built. Right? This one particular pillar, he physically was present there while that pillar was built, and he also helped in building that pillar. So he knows very well that inside that pillar no one is there. He is not sure about that pillar and this pillar and the other pillar because he was not present when that pillar was built. But this particular pillar, he was present. He witnessed when that pillar was being made. So that's the reason he was asking, is he present in this particular pillar? And the answer he got was, he was present in that pillar and this pillar and that pillar. Why? Commentary says that because if Prahlad said, "Yes, my dear father, he is present in this pillar," then the atheistic people will say that God is only present in one particular place, he is not present here or is not present there. To avoid that confusion, Prahlad said, present everywhere. But then Hiranyakashipu again was asking, my question is he present in this pillar or Now Prahlad said, yes, my dear father, also present, also present. Now, listen, I'm going to break this pillar. If that God whom you pray, whom you chant, whom you are crazy about, is not present there, I'm going to make you into pieces and eat you. Father is talking to his son. Can you imagine? Father is telling, I'm going to cut you into pieces and eat you as my breakfast tomorrow morning. Right? Be prepared. Me like an lion, you like an elephant. I will jump on top of you and break your head open. This is all spoken by Hiranyakashipu to a 5-year-old boy. Right? Can you imagine 5-year-old boy? A father has to listen, the son has to listen to all these things. But nowadays, you tell one small thing to a child, they get so upset. You, even for example, nowadays the whole trend has changed. If you ask your son or daughter to bring a glass of water, and the daughter or son brings the water, and then father brings the water, and the son is waiting, standing there, and father thinking, what are you waiting for? You never said thanks to me. The culture is like that, where for every single thing we have to say thank you very much. If you fail to say thank you, you're into a problem. That is within the family members also, we have to thank each other. Unfortunate situation. Much not. In the Shastra, Niti Shastra, it is said that for the servants, you don't praise them in the front. Because if you're running a business, right, and you have an employees, you don't praise the employees in the front. Don't ask me now, because it's not going to work, Prabhu. We have to appreciate and all those things, they have to give gifts and all those things. But this is a Niti Shastra. Servant, you should never appreciate in front of anyone. After they've gone, you appreciate. Because they will start thinking they are great. Now they are already doing this one. Right?
That is true.
And then for the children, don't blame me. This is Shastra says, for the children, never ever appreciate. Okay? And for everything there is a valid reason. You have to have faith in these things. But nowadays we can't, you can say this one, we have to say thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you. T-Y. Now thank you is also not too big to write, right? T and Y. Thank you. You have to understand it. T-Y-B-N. What is it? Thank you very much. And then in response you get Y-W. You are welcome. Everything is T-Y, B-R-B, be right back. Everything has changed. We are reducing our conversation so much, which is good also in many sense.
I have it is true, I remember my childhood and my father and my grandfather. I don't remember any time my grandfather appreciated my father. Only finding God. And same thing, my father never appreciated. He will just smile, that's it. He will not orally saying oh, you did good or something. No, nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the thing is, I never remember, my father coming and telling, Lal, thank you very much for what you have done. Never, neither my mother. But then that's a tradition, because even without they are telling, we can understand.
Yeah.
Whereas the latest tradition is that you have to express yourself. When you express, it's not going to work. So therefore, what were you saying? That Hiranyakashipu.
Shouting.
Huh?
Shouting at Prahlad.
Shouting at Prahlad. And the children, that when we say something, want to correct our children, they get upset so much. Much upset. Therefore, we can learn from Prahlad, when his father was so much chastising him and wanting to beat him, wanting to kill him, and Prahlad was still carrying the same respect that he had for his father. Can you imagine? He was having the same respect to his father. We have to be very careful in dealings with our elders and dealing with our parents especially, because it's the parents who has given us this janma. If you are not even being thankful for what our parents have done in our life, how are we going to be thankful to anything else? How are we going to be thankful for God we have not seen? Make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not denying Krishna, please understand.
Yeah.
If you're not being a human in first place, what are we going to do as great devotee or bhakta? I'll tell one small story from the Quran. This is told to Yudhishthira Maharaj by Bhishma, when he was lying down on the bed of arrows. Beautiful story. And he tells the story. There was one boy in the Purana, and he was so very nice, obedient, he knows all the shastras, and nice person. He was serving his parents. Then he decided that I want to be dedicate myself in my understanding my Atma self. So went into the forest. He gave up his parents and he went to the forest. In the forest he was deeply in meditation. In deep meditation, right? For many days. He was doing really very good job. Many days. And one day what happened was a heavy thunderstorm. Heavy rain, as if it's going to be a pralaya, destruction of the world. Like that. But this boy was in his complete meditation. He didn't realize what was going around him. Then one point of time, he has to take a break. Then at that point he came to an external consciousness, opened his eyes. He saw the entire surrounding was pretty much gone, destroyed. But he was completely protected. His area was dry, nothing was happening, nothing destroyed. He was completely protected. No, he was just wondering what's happening. He raised his eyes and saw up. It was a big bull, very huge sized bull, was standing on top of this boy, this man, young man, and protecting him. And the rain and everything stopped, everything became normal. Until that point, this bull was above him, protecting him. And when everything became normal, back to normal, that bull started walking off. And this young man was thinking, calling for this bull and running behind the bull and stop the bull. He could understand this bull cannot be an ordinary person because the bull saved him. Then he got into the front of the bull and asked, "Who are you?" He's telling me, "Thanks for saving me." And the bull said that you don't thank me. There's no point in thanking me. If you don't know how to thank for the one who has given you birth, why are you going around the world trying to thank others? What type of gratitude you have? You left your parents who are needing of you, and you come here and do meditation, dhyana. Right? What type of gratitude you have? So show your gratitude to them first, and then come and do everything else. Then it gives a result, good result. And that bull is none other than Dharmaraj. Dharmaraj, in the Yama. He came and gave this one. Therefore, sometimes what happens is that we get irritated, especially when the parents are getting older. Or we, in somehow or the other in position, we are greater than our parents. We learned more in salary wise, in job wise, in education. We start seeing them down. We may be in a better position, they may be not in a better position, but we should not understand we are in the better position because of the sacrifice they have done. And if we don't understand and have respect, and we lose our respect to our parents, then chanting 16 rounds, fasting, doing all those different things, what values does it have? Therefore, we have to, in the Dharma Shastra, this is one more point I just remembered that I want to mention. There are 3 things a son has to do for father. 3 things. What it says is, when the father is gone, passed away, the son should go to Gaya and do a ceremony, special ceremony for the past father. Pindadhan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also when we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu has done this one also. So he has to do that one, Pindadhan, for the forefathers and fathers. And next, every year, a Shraddha, every year there is a ceremony that has to be performed. Every year on a particular tithi, on a particular day, they have to do. The question is, you are telling that whatever son has to do, whatever the son has to do, it's all has to be done after the father is gone. Is there anything that has to be done by the son when the father is alive? And the Shastra says, yes, follow the instructions of the father. Follow the instructions of the father. Provided father is not like Hiranyakashipu, right? Then it's a different thing. But most of the fathers are not Hiranyakashipu. Majority of them are not Hiranyakashipu. So we should not see our fathers like Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, Kumbhakarna and so on. They're nice people. They may not be in Krishna consciousness. They may not know what you're doing, but they are the seed for us to do what we are doing. Therefore, I want to make this very important point, because I know the children are watching also online. So we have to have the greater respect for the parents, mom and dad. As they say that once we come to a teenage, then we start thinking our parents are useless, hopeless, they are dumb, they don't know anything. None of those things is going to help us in our growth. Yes, bro, you want to add something?
Yeah, bro. Respecting the parent. Gopal Prabhu gave one example. That example, that his father, he had some problem with his father and he could not for a couple of years. For a couple of years he could not speak, and then somehow but Gopal Prabhu, he was in touch with his mother. The mother and son, they were talking, but the son, Gopal Prabhu, he was not talking to his father. Suddenly what happens after a couple of years, father passed away. And Gopal Prabhu, who was a monk, brahmachari, he went to his house. He felt very sad. That the mother said that, my dear son, you did not speak to father. He was so lamenting before he passed away. And Gopal Prabhu, he felt very bad, and in the class he said that, I request to everyone that, because now even if I say sorry to my father, not there. So please say if you are committing mistake. There is anything wrong. To say if you are committing wrong or not. Whether sorry means what he said, that sorry means it is not like that whether it is your fault or his fault. You are sorry, the word means you are giving more importance the relations rather than who is correct.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that nice story. So when our parents are alive, those who have fortune of having their parents alive, please value their association and don't expect anything from them, and accept however they are. Be with respect and show your love.
Yeah.
Right? I won't care. So let's continue this one. So we have a few more minutes so we can finish the pastime of Lord Narasimha, and then we can open up for discussion. Now, Narasimha, even though he did all this thing, Bhakta Prahlad was very respectful. He was not reacting to the situation. He was not running away. He was not doing anything. But then Hiranyakashipu went and knocked off the pillar. As he knocked off the pillar broke open. Something was amazing to surprise. Never seen such thing ever. Never ever seen something like this. He has seen animal, he has seen human, but this is something different where he has never seen this, but which is loud roaring, heavy roaring. This roaring made him pretty much deaf. The voice or the roaring sound was going all the way penetrating to higher planetary system. People were shaken by just by the sound alone. Whoever is sitting on a high throne are falling off by the sound. They couldn't take it any further. It was Lord Narasimha, who just half man and half lion, appeared from that particular pillar. Satyam vidhatum nijabritya bhashitam. To keep up the promise, the word that Prahlad made. Prahlad said what? He is there in the pillar. Keep up the promise of his devotee. He appeared on that particular pillar. He could have appeared on the other pillar also, because he is everywhere. But he specifically appeared on this pillar. He could appear from anywhere, but he appeared on this pillar to keep up the word of his bhakta, Prahlad. He said, yes, he is present there. So just imagine, that's a faith that Prahlad had. So sometimes people, when they come to the class, you are all sitting here. Sometimes when the people come, they want to go back and rest in the back, because they will need rest. Sometimes it's difficult to sit long like this, they won't rest. So are we thinking that I am resting on the lap of my Lord Narasimha? I am resting on the lap of Narasimha, now I can be very safe. What about the wall that we are resting? The place we are sitting itself, the Lord is the one who is holding us. He is the one who is holding us. We can't do it. We can't do anything else otherwise. We might be thinking that this floor is strong, which is holding me. But what is behind this, below this floor? Oh, well, the foundation is, the building foundation is strong, that's why we are able to sit. Well, what is below the foundation? Earth is there. Well, what about earth? Earth is somewhere on the space. Who's holding that earth? Without the Lord, we are all falling off everywhere, like anything. Right? Therefore, Bhakta Prahlad, he knows that the Lord is present everywhere. So when the Lord appeared out of the pillar, one muhurta kala, not very long time, very short period, 1.5 hours or so, that's all. The Lord came, like how Garuda, the eagle, will try to chase the snake and hold the snake and release the snake. And the snake again goes like this. And Garuda again catches the snake and releases the snake. It's like playing. Garuda is playing with the snake. Finally it finishes off. Like that, Lord Narasimha catches Hiranyakashipu and releases him. And he goes, again he fights, again he holds him, again he releases him. So things were going on like him. It was having nice fun. Lord Narasimha was having a lot of fun with Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu tried his best, but couldn't keep up. As the time was clicking, getting closer and closer. The fight the Lord was making in such a way, the arrangement, the fight started near the pillar, and the fight was slowly, they were moving towards the exit door. They're coming close to the exit door. From the inside, usually when the family is fighting, they fight within the four walls. Husband, wife have arguments, or father and children will have arguments. It all will be on the four walls. When that fight becomes too much, they go to the street next. On the street, family fight. A family fight on the street. Right? It's a sad situation. Likewise, the fight was happening inside the palace, and Narasimha was having a special eye watch. He was just clicking, ding, 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 ding. You could see only 2 minutes left, 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left. So somehow or the other, he was dragging the fight to near the entrance. They came to the entrance. It was right time at the time. The Lord caught hold of Hiranyakashipu. Near the entrance, on the entrance, not outside the entrance, not inside the building entrance, house, near the pathway. He took Hiranyakashipu with his sharp nails, pierced his chest, and open, wide open. And then he was paused for a minute. Everything was paused for a minute. And he put his hand inside and doing something like this. Inside Hiranyakashipu's body, you go to the hospital and there's a surgery. You have to bypass surgery or something. The doctor has cut open your ribs and everything has been open. And now the doctor, instead of focusing on the heart to do whatever he needs to do, is looking inside and everything start looking like this, and taking an this is nice, put it back. He's not going to do any of those things, right? But Lord Narasimhadev was putting his hand inside and trying to search for something. These are all commentaries. It's not in Bhagavatam verses. So he was searching for something inside. The Acharya says that here at this point, Lord Narasimha was trying to see if at all in Hiranyakashipu's heart, any corner, any good thought is present or not. If at all one good thing he thinks about me, one small good thing, then I will release him. I will just release him. But he was searching and searching and searching and searching, couldn't find anything. Finished, completely finished. And pull out the intestine and put those things as garlands around. Satyam vidatum ninchabritya bhashitam. Brahma made promise to Hiranyakashipu. What are the promise he made? He said, Hiranya asked this one, right? I should not be killed inside and outside. Happened near the entrance. I should not be killed during the daytime and nighttime. During the dusk is when he was killed. I should not be killed by any types of animals, reptiles, birds, yaksha, gandharvas, kinkaras, rakshasas, none of those. None of them were there. I shouldn't be killed by the human being. Human was not present. So the Lord took a combination which he did not ask for. Half lion and half man combination. Now he also asked one more boon. I should not be killed by that which has life and that which does not have life. That's an important point to understand. What is that which has life and does not have life? What could that be? What could that be? Which has life? One, we can say it has life. We can also say it does not have life. Can you think of something like that?
Yeah. Created everything like matter and non-matter. Spirit and matter both created by someone.
Yes, that is true, but Prabhu, hand, please. Clap. Thank you, Chakri Prabhu. Nails grows, that means it has some life, it has life. When you cut it, does it pain? It has life, it doesn't have life. Therefore, he uses nails to kill. He did not use any sort of weapons, because that is also one of the criteria. So he killed with his nails which has life and which can be said it does not have life. He ripped them off right over there. And then one question is being, we should know that why did the Lord did not took a form of an half man and half lion? Why not half bear, half man? Why not half horse and half man? Why specifically he has to take half lion and half man? Lion requires nails.
Yeah, lion nails are very strong.
Okay. Yes, that is told in Ramayana. It is not Bhagavatam. What I said, if you notice that point, that Hiranyakashipu said, Now at this point of time, I'm going to knock this pillar off. If your Lord is not present there, I become like a lion and you like an elephant, I'll break open your head. What happened is, the Lord has descended from Vaikuntha. He is present inside the pillar now, with his four-hand form. Everything is set, is inside in his four-hand form. But he was thinking, he knows that he needs to take half something else and half something else. He is planned, everything is planned. Only thing he was not planned, he didn't plan about is what is that half form he has to take. Bear, horse, tiger, lion, what needs to be taken. He was not sure. So he knows that he also have to kill with the nails. So he was busy inside doing what do they call the shopping in the shops are there? The penna.
No.
Pedicure.
Pedicure.
That's called Shakti Prabhu. Shopping and shaping the nails and what is it called? Pedicure. You don't know. Sorry, you don't do that one. Pedicure, where you spend so much money, go to the shop, and all they have to do is they shape your nails like this and make it shiny. And in those days, there was one color of nail polish. Nowadays, every finger different colors. Even in one finger, multiple colors.
There are gradients.
How much time we spend on decorating this nail, right? Lord who present inside the pillar was doing pedicure. He was sitting and thinking, what am I going to do now? He was just doing sharpening his nails inside. Sharpening his nails. At that point, he overheard that Hiranyakashipu said, me as lion, you as elephant, I will kill. And that time he decided, who are you to kill my devotee? I as lion, you as elephant, I will kill you. And that's when he decided to take a form of lion. This is in the Amba Ramayana, written by the great sage Amba. Mentioned this one in the Vibhishana Parva, that was a section Vibhishana's having conversation with Ravana. It is explained over there. Special message for those who want to know about why he took form. Now, with that said, Hiranyakashipu was finished. Hiranyakashipu was finished, and the devatas and everyone were so very happy. They all came down. They all came down in front of the Lord. Now they all came. Some of them were standing up somewhere on the sky. They were afraid to come closer. Whoever came here, they were also afraid to approach the Lord. No one dared to get close to Lord Narasimha. No one. But everyone was Stotra, Master Stotra, they were just praising the Lord so much. But the Lord was still angry, having Hiranyakashipu on his lap. He was just angry. Heavy breathing. And his eyes was penetrating on the top of the skies and breaking off all the clouds and so much. So he was so much still not pacified yet. And then they all thought, oh, the best thing is to call his wife. Maybe he'll be alright when his wife comes. So Lakshmi ji was there. They said, why don't you please go take care of your husband? And Lakshmi said, excuse me, I've never seen this form before. It's unpredictable. Even when he was full human form only, I cannot trust him. As he came as Krishna, he says something and does something. And as Rama, he couldn't even take care of me. He left me for 10 months. Right? So that form, human form only, I cannot trust. This is half man and half lion. How can I trust and go close to him? I'm quite, I cannot, sorry, excuse me, please, I can't go close to him. And Brahma and everyone decided, okay, why did he come? Why did he took this form? Because of this boy, 5-year-old boy. So therefore they said, it is you who have to go and pacify the Lord. You have to pacify the Lord. And Prahlad went and he started praising the Lord. He said, I have no qualification to praise you. I don't know how to praise you. And he started praising the Lord. Whatever language, whatever little bit he knows, he started that. And then the Lord spoke. He said, my dear Prahlad, I'll just take another 5 more minutes. It's 12 o'clock. Another 5 more minutes and we'll finish. And Lord Nrsimhadev said that, my dear Prahlad, I'm very pleased by your bhakti and dedication. Please tell me, ask for a boon. Ask for a boon. And Prahlad said, my dear Lord, I didn't do this bhakti for receiving any boon from you. So therefore I don't want any boon. Well, ask something. Ask something. My dear Lord, because you are forcing me to ask something, let me ask you a boon. He said, what is it you want? Well, out of ignorance, out of all this arrogance, my father might have committed mistake. Kindly forgive him. Shri Krishna Balaram Jai Nataraj Ki Jai. Please kindly forgive my father. And then Lord Nrsimhadev said that ask something else. Because your father is already forgiven. 21 generations of yours, whoever is connected to you, they are all forgiven. That's all right. Ask something else. And Prahlad said, no, I don't want anything else. For my sake, please ask something. And Prahlad said, if at all you are forcing me to ask something, then this is the boon that I am asking you. Please fulfill that boon. And then Nrsimhadev was eagerly waiting to hear what is the boon that Prahlad is going to ask. And Prahlad said, my dear Lord, give me a boon that I will never ask for a boon from you. I will never ask a boon for it. How nicely he said it. I will never ask any boon from you. Give that boon. And then Lord Nrsimhadev was so very pleased, so very happy. He said, you are great. And your glories and your names will be spread all over the world. And you please continue ruling this kingdom since your father is gone. And finally you can come back to me. Okay. Lord Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai, Bhakta Prahlad ki jai. Any questions? Is there any questions? Yes, what's the question? Yes?
Can you tell the story again when they were building the pillar?
Okay, I'll tell in short. Okay, so Hiranyakashipu was building his palace. When you build a palace, there should be a lot of pillars to support the palace ceiling. Lot of pillars, right? You need to have many pillars. So there was one particular pillar. He himself was present while that pillar was built. He was also putting stones on the pillar. So that is the pillar that he knocked off. He broke, because he knows very well that pillar, when he built, there was no one present inside. That is why you want to knock off that pillar, not the other pillars. Okay? Another question? Yes, please go ahead.
So there's a question on the chart.
What's the question?
The question is, so why did Lord Nrsimha wore the intestines as a garland? Ravi Prabhu was asking. Why did not Lord Nrsimha wear the intestines as garland?
why Lord Narasimha wore the intestinous garland. I don't know if there is any commentary for that one, but he wore it. If I find any sort of commentary on that particular thing, I think I remember, yes, I think I remember reading somewhere why he wore that, because let me recollect, let me check for that one, and I'll get back. But I can't remember right away. But there is some reason behind it, which I can't remember now. Any other questions? Okay, if there is...
I have
yes.
one question. So, the first question is about how Lord, he has the calculation of everyone, but at the same time he is not involved. So it's like that is like some subtle body which we have, our ego, mind, intelligence, or karma goes to transmigrate to new body. So basically it's more of personal, very much personal account, right?
Yes.
It's very personal, like everyone individual has their
Right.
accounting.
Yes.
The second point that
So everyone has a personal account. It's not a shared account. Okay. All right. Like you have a bank account, shared account, right? Husband, wife, and so forth. This a karma account is the individual account.
yeah.
Okay. But you may come together as a collective karma to go through certain things. But it's not necessarily because of the same karma you're coming together.
Yeah.
For some reason, the family come together, husband suffers, wife suffers, children suffers, or a big building where everyone is sitting together and one flight comes and finishes off everyone. But it could be some collective karma that things are getting over. Okay, second question.
Second, Prahlad Maharaj, how could he remember when he was born like a child? He could remember the things which he heard during presence in home. Like generally children don't remember, but he was like so conscious to remember and tell to other people that.
Just because of the mercy of Krishna. That's all. Or the mercy of Krishna. We might try to remember, but we may not remember, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a special child. Prahlad is a very special child, raised by Krishna. He could remember everything.
One comment I have about parents' respect. So, two things which I remember. The first is Lord Ram. Like he personally showed that how to respect parents. Lord Ram, the whole life is obeying the order of his father. Though father was not agreeing, when the father promised to mother something, then father was denying to go for that, give that vow at the end because he didn't want Lord Ram to suffer, but still Lord Ram went ahead. So in my area, the north, like I don't know, this like from old time, it said that if you cannot respect your parent, there is no chance of punya or anything. It's not possible. There is.
Yeah, very true. Thanks for sharing that. The point has been made how Lord Ramachandra exhibited the obedience of respecting his parents so much. But I'm going to tell a point and we can stop there. More than Ramachandra, now we are getting Janmashtami is coming up. Therefore, it is Krishna who is obeyed than Lord Ramachandra. Because Lord Rama obeyed his father at the age of 40. When he was 40, his father said, father did not say, but we all know the story from Ramayana. He obeyed his father and he went to the forest when he was 40 years old. But then when Krishna was born in the jail, in the prison house, the parents requested, please don't show your forehand form and become a small baby, 200 baby. And immediately obeyed. Right when he's born, he obeyed. So that Krishna's appearance day is coming up, not too far, just 2 days in between. coming Tuesday, we are going to celebrate Krishna Janmashtami, one of the very important festivals for all of us, because Krishna, a lot of everyone who appeared, Ajanamano Bahuda Vijayati. It is said in the Shastra, Ajanamano Bahuda Vijayati. One who was not born taking birth for our own purpose. Therefore, everyone kindly participate. It's going to be an online program through YouTube. So you all can log in, and the program starts at 6 o'clock and then goes to 9:30. We'll be having Kirtan, nice Kirtan. There will be a children's show. All will be displayed on the YouTube. And then there's going to be Aarti and Abhishek, nice Abhishek. And those who would like to contribute for this special event, once in a year event, kindly you feel valued by all the efforts that's been put by the devotees of our temple, because you have to contribute to the temple. At the same time, take up some services like this. If you have, we'll be posting the information about various sponsorship, various pujas in our WhatsApp group. Kindly please participate. Your support is very much needed. And with that said,
for testing purposes, we are just playing a video of Prabhupada. If they want to see, they can.
So for next few minutes, for the testing purpose for Janmashtami, we are going to play a video of Prabhupada. Those who would like to stay back and watch it, feel free to stay back. Otherwise, wish you all a wonderful, happy Janmashtami in advance, and see you all coming Tuesday. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Who is Srila Prabhupada? People often ask. At various times, he was known as a scholar, a philosopher, a cultural ambassador, a prolific author, a religious leader, a spiritual teacher, a social critic, and a holy man. He was not one of those modern entrepreneurial gurus who come to the West with slickly packaged, watered-down versions of Eastern spirituality, promising instant well-being to anyone who could spare $50. Srila Prabhupada was rather a true holy man, one who could be called an acharya, which means a spiritual master who teaches by example, and a holy man. After arriving in the United States in 1965 at the age of 69, Srila Prabhupada formed the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which developed into a worldwide spiritual community with hundreds of ashrams, schools, temples, and farms, and with thousands of dedicated disciples who made Hare Krishna a household word. Srila Prabhupada, people often ask. At various times, he was known as a scholar, a philosopher, a cultural ambassador, a prolific author, a religious leader, a spiritual teacher, a social critic, and a holy man. He was not one of those modern entrepreneurial gurus who come to the West with slickly packaged, watered-down versions of Eastern spirituality, promising instant well-being to anyone who could spare $50. Srila Prabhupada was rather a true holy man, one who could be called an acharya, which means a spiritual master who teaches by example. After arriving in the United States in 1965 at the age of 69, Srila Prabhupada formed the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which developed into a worldwide spiritual community with hundreds of ashrams, schools, temples, and farms, and with thousands of dedicated disciples who made Hare Krishna a household word. To have achieved all this in only 12 years was remarkable. But before he passed away from this world in 1977, Srila Prabhupada had also written and published over 80 volumes of translation and commentary on the great spiritual classics of ancient India. His books were welcomed with great critical acclaim by the Western academic community and by scholars from India as well, and they became standard texts in almost every university and library around the world. Srila Prabhupada had also succeeded in transmitting the profound wisdom of the ancient Vedic culture in a form and style that was clearly understandable to the average modern man. He could somehow explain even the most difficult philosophical concepts to people who were totally unfamiliar with the complex Indian religious tradition. Srila Prabhupada circled the globe 11 times between 1966 and 1977, and everywhere he went, he taught the same basic truths, the fundamental principles of religion that constitute the cornerstone of spiritual understanding for everyone, no matter what their nationality or religion. Srila Prabhupada was, more than anything, a teacher, a professor emeritus of the science of self-realization. And he was the best kind of teacher, because he always lived up to what he taught.